Hello, everyone. Coming up presents the NXT Ring Report. What a show we have for you. Coming up, we show these matches right here. Tatum Paxley versus Jada Parker. They'll be happening. Mike Santana versus um Davian Heights. We'll get the LFG Season 1 winner Jasper Troy. He's gonna be in action, making his ring debut. Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page for the North American Championship. In the main event, Stephanie Vaquer goes one-on-one against Jacy Jayne. We got all this and more as Pro Wrestling Show starts. The NXT Ring Report starts right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the NXT Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's not waste no time. What's up? We're gonna kick things off here on the NXT Ring Report. This, the Ricky Saints defends the North American Championship against Ethan Page. Ricky Saints coming in, and I don't know what was going on. I was coming in watching Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints making a an impression tonight. Ricky Saints, if we can show Ricky Saints right quick. I guess Ricky Saints right here making his lasting impression tonight right here. Saints came in tonight with stellar performance right here, coming in with North American title victory. I didn't know it was gonna be his last, but he lost the North American Championship to Ethan Page. I don't know if Ricky Saints dealing with an injury or not. Ethan Page emerged victorious, defeating Ricky Saints to become the new NXT North American champion. You know, Ricky Saints really didn't put up a fight or effort. Ethan Page came in looking to go. He was ready to go tonight. You know, he did so tonight. What he did. So we saw Ethan Page defeat Ricky Saints. Well, there's always something extra in the caveat tonight. Well, Ethan Page had his newly won title until he got called out tonight. Ethan Page got called out by everybody tonight, even to the point right here. The Lucha people are coming out. Dragon Lee coming out there. Let me show a picture of Dragon Lee right quick. Dragon Lee coming out there. You know, he's saying that he wants a hot of North American Championship. So Ricky, Ethan Page opened a can of worms that he probably didn't want to be open. He did so tonight by doing this, doing the match. Indeed, unless we can show you what's going on right here. It's going to be a fatal four-way. Javon Evans, Ethan Page, Dragon Lee, and a host of others. They're going to be on YouTube on this Worlds Collide. This Worlds Collide event is going to happen. It's going to happen at Worlds Collide. Looking forward to seeing that. So Ethan Page may be dropping that championship to one of these three men. He's the current title holder. So, hey, we'll see if Ethan Page can hold on to his championship at Worlds Collide coming up June 7th. We'll see if that be the possibility or the case that Ethan Page retains his championship the way he wanted to tonight. Well, Mike Santana making his debut in NXT. Mike Santana right here won his match tonight. Mike Santana from TNA making a TNA impression. He did so tonight. Santana making a good impression. Mike Santana wouldn't wait so long. Trick Williams, the new TNA champion, came out there to congratulate himself. Trick Williams now getting the rub. Trick Williams now must defend the TNA championship against Mike Santana. That's going to happen next week On the next, Trick Williams set to defend the TNA championship right here. You can show Trick Willie right here, holding the gold right here. Trick Willie showcasing his new gold as the new TNA champion. So we know next week, Trick Williams didn't shake the hand of Mike Santana. Mike Santana was trying to congratulate him. Now Trick Williams in his first title defense going against Mike Santana. Real for real. We thought they would have built this up, but they ain't trying to waste no time whatsoever. So you know Trick Williams is gonna retain his championship the way he wants to retain it. So Trick Williams getting the shot. We even saw a special appearance from Santino Marella as TNA commissioner, making sure that Trick Willie um, rules as far as he don't like it or not. So we'll see Trick Williams set to defend the TNA championship next week. After winning the championship from Joe Henry, we don't know what's next for Joe Henry. Trick Williams now in the driver's seat now as the TNA champion. So like we said, next week face off between Trick Williams and Mike Santana. Go next week. We'll see that coming your way in town and stuff. So looking forward to seeing that being that way next week for Trick Williams and Mike Santana next week. Also, too, we saw more matches tonight. More matches. Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice. They're gonna team up. And I mean they're gonna team up big time. Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice may have their hands full. They're gonna go to Worlds Collide. They're gonna team up two NXT popular stars. Vaquer and Lola Vice will team up against these Triple A vixens, whoever they is. I want to see Stephanie Vaquer. I'm always a fan of Stephanie Vaquer, especially like Book T like to say with the running the devil's kiss that she do that maneuver that she's been doing. So Stephanie Vaquer, looking forward to seeing her now in World Collides in 2 weeks. So Jasper Troy, the winner of the Legend Future Greats winner. He was more passionate. He was talking about he might be passive aggressive, but he knows how to get it done in the ring. The likes of Yokozuna, people, Scott Hall, people his size and his caliber. Trying to think of a big man that kind of was black and Mark Henry, stuff like that. Jasper Troy showed his athletic prowess tonight. Jasper Troy getting the job done. You can tell right here. Jasper Troy, I could call him Pastor Troy. Pastor Troy doing his thing right here. We can show some footage. So still, there you go right there, of him dominating. And like he was doing on Legend Future Greats. He was silent but deadly. And he did so tonight. Putting the end to his opponents. And that's what he did tonight. Well, he did. Well, Jasper Troy is targeting, he wants to go from the top straight to the top. And he's targeting the NXT champion, Oba Femi. Oba Femi and Jasper Troy, these two titans will meet. They will meet indeed. Oba Femi telling Jasper Troy he's ready for him. He's ready to annihilate him. Oba Femi looks ready and looks like he wants to be a dominant champion as well. So Oba Femi and Jasper Troy, you can tell those two monsters, those two, like they said, like Hulk Hogan, the irresistible force, mean the immovable object. They will collide in NXT, the NXT champion versus the LFG champion. And what will happen when they're going to collide? I'm going to wait to see how that's going to go down eventually. Well, Miles Bourne lost to this man right here, Oba Femi, but Miles Bourne talking about he want to be his own star. Miles Bourne asking Charles Dixon to let him go release him. Charles Dixon said no. He said he'll do it under one condition: if you wrestle him in a no disqualification match and do something. I think the feud's already about to pin over and boil over and pin down. I think Miles Bourne has found his niche. And he really don't need Charlie Dempsey, and Charlie Dempsey's trying to hold on to him because he knows that Charlie Miles Bourne has potential, and he did so. Not winning the NXT title, but put up an effort. But he could be on his way become a future NXT champion down the road. So, like they said, next week we're gonna see that matches with um, Charlie Dempsey taking on Miles Bourne one on one in a rounds match. Can Miles Bourne finally get out the clutches of Charlie Dempsey and go on his own? You can see that being the case if that happens, but we're gonna see it next week. If Charlie Dempsey will keep Miles Bourne locked down like he did the other day coming up as well. Also, too, this is right here we want to talk about before we leave the show right here. Um, what else we want to talk about on the NXT Ring Report? Well, we talked about that with the Lucha Underground stuff. Well, we get to this right here. We told you Stephanie Vaquer set to defend her NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie going to be part of that historic women's match coming up at Worlds Collide. We're going to see that being that way. Worlds Collide, Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice will team up with Worlds Collide. We'll see that match coming up. Also, too, we saw Wesley and his boys. Wesley and his boys they want to make an impact and they're going to make a serious impact down the road. They did vignettes as well as Ava did a introduction to these two dudes. I think they're from the Tubi show, so we saw that as well. Well, we get to the main event right here. This is the main event of the evening right here. Stephanie Vaquer set to defend the NXT Women's title against Jacy Jayne. Jacy Jayne, unlikely challenger. Jacy Jayne could Jacy Jayne do the impossible? Win the NXT Women's Championship. She was talking about it all night long. We know that Jacy Jayne looking for this opportunity of a lifetime to win the Women's Championship. Could she do it? I really thought it was going to be a sleeper match. Well, it really wasn't. Jacy Jayne probably shocked herself right here. This is the moment right here when Jacy Jayne defeated Stephanie Vaquer. Well, I know with the help of Fallon Henry to win the women's championship. You get a good view and a good bird's eye view right here. Fallon Henry getting the Jacy Jayne winning the women's title from right here, looking shocked, looking always like what just happened. And it did, and it happened indeed for her. Jacy Jayne, even the ring announcer was kind of shocked that he had to announce Jacy Jayne as the new women's champion. Jacy Jayne now holding the gold as the new NXT women's champion. What's next with Jacy Jayne? We just don't know, but Jacy Jayne now holds the gold and holds it indeed as his new NXT women's champion. All right, that ends the NXT ring report. We're gonna move over to wrestling hot topics right quick. We're gonna talk about this. WWE announced that Saturday night's main event, Evolution in the Great American Bash, is taking over in Atlanta. It's coming July 12th and the 13th. State Farm Arena will host on July 13th, on July 12th, Saturday night's main event in Evolution on July 13th, and then the Great American Bash. Um, Evolution will be that Sunday, the all women's event, as well as the Great American Bash will take place on the same day as Saturday Night Main Event. So it's gonna be a triple combo, as you see right here. Come to the Atlanta area. Um, I can't wait. I'm be going to Atlanta myself this weekend just to see. But it's great to see that and know that Atlanta is a hotbed for wrestling. It's a hotbed wrestling town, and I can tell you that right now from Atlanta, Georgia. All right. We're gonna leave you here on the Pro Wrestling Show with Jacy Jayne finally accomplishing her dream as the new NXT Women's Champion. What's next for Jacy Jayne? Will Stephanie Vaquer get a rematch, or will she be focusing on the match with she's gonna have with Lola Vice in that tag team match? That's what everybody want to talk about. Like we said, we'll give you the rundown for next week right here on the NXT Ring Report. Coming up next week, Trick Williams set to defend the TNA Championship against Mike Santana. Can Mike Santana bring the championship back home to Impact TNA? We'll see. Or will Trick Williams keep on doing his thing as the new NXT champion in his first title defense? We'll see that coming up next Tuesday. Speaking of that, a rounds match. Is Charlie Dempsey jealous of Miles Bourne's success? Well, Miles Bourne wants to break free and move forward with his singles career, but he has Charlie Dempsey in the way. And Charlie Dempsey does not want to let go of the clutches of him. We'll see in a rounds match if he can finally leave out. But we're going to leave you with Jacy Jayne, finally, perhaps the unluckiest women's champion I ever seen in my life. She finally win the big one. She's now the new NXT Women's Champion. Jacy Jayne has done it. I'm gonna show still a picture of her before we leave out. Jacy Jayne now the new NXT Women's Champion. We'll see. Jacy Jayne has what it takes to ram the division as the NXT's newest division holder. Thanks for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report here